Once again, the shocking reality of what this sport really is.
Yeah.
React to what you just saw right there. I mean,
yeah, just at the end of that, man, you don't play boxing, this guy, he's still out, bro, like, definitely hope, it takes a minute, he bounces back and everything is cool, but it's a dangerous sport, man. We're in there playing with our lives, we're not just trying to score points and stuff like that. It's a lot more on the line.
Just crazy how you can see the sobering reality just so quickly. One punch can absolutely change everything and end the night.
All it takes is that one punch, man, that one little carelessness, maybe open in the defense or something, like something set up, but it happens, man.
Opponent's still on the ground, motionless, just unbelievably blast-off knockout.
Yeah, man, that was definitely bad. It's a bad one, but there you go. We got him sitting up a little bit, getting back to it.
Now, what's that like to see, bro? We saw you do that versus Fundora not long ago. What's it like to be on the other end, just getting a look at it here?
Man, no, it's always crazy, man. It's hard to see because as much as we're warriors, we go in there, put our lives on the line and everything, but it's you still don't like to see that, man. You always hope everybody comes out of there safe, goes home to our families and stuff, man. But it's part of the game, man. And it's kill if you kill it.
Unbelievable, bro.
You died, and no, I came with the thing.
Okay. We just saw Caleb Plant drop a decision to Resendiz, a relatively unknown guy. What do you think now has to happen for Caleb Plant to get back in title contention?
Acabamos de ver a Caleb perder con un medio desconocido como Toro. ¿Y qué tú crees que él tiene que hacer ahora para regresar encima?
No, fue una buena pelea, una gran pelea. Ahora tiene que regresar a trabajar y seguro que va a regresar que es un campeón.
Okay. No, it was a great fight. It was a tough fight, and he just has to get back to work. And he's a great fighter, so he'll get back to the top.
What do you think about? We had the matchup. We had the press conference this morning with Manny Pacquiao. As we got Shishu back there walking by, we had the press conference with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao coming back to fight against Mario Barrios. What's your thoughts? You were the last guy to injure and beat up Manny Pacquiao badly. What do you think a 4-year later Manny Pacquiao looks like?
Sorry, 1 second, little distraction. No, que ya anunciaron la pelea de Pacquiao.
No,
he understood that one.
That is great fight. Great fight because Pacquiao, Guavio, both fight Guavio. So great fight.
There all we got. You don't need no translation,
it's a good
bro.
Fight, so you think it's a great fight? You think
English,
it's a great,
guys.
do you think that Pacquiao still has enough power to knock out Barrios if he catches him clean?
Todavía lo tiene.
Pienso que todavía puede competir.
Yeah, he thinks he can still definitely compete. So the power's there, the power's the last thing to go with the age, so it's definitely a possibility.
Although it was 4 years ago, how hard does Manny hit? Does Manny still have pop?
Que aunque sea, ya pasó 4 años, pero Pacquiao todavía tiene esa pegada.
Sí, pienso que puede competir.
That's why he thinks he can compete, because he still has that pop.
Canelo Crawford, who wins? Last thing.
Canelo Crawford,
50-50. All right, Brian, what you think about what you just saw with Caleb playing up here? We just saw him come up short.
Yeah. No, man, same thing, and I'm a little torn, because I was right in the middle. I trained with Caleb, that's my boy, but back in the day I've trained with Toro too, so I actually know both of them. I've sparred both of them, worked with them, and yeah, man, it's a tough loss for Caleb, but he's a dog, man. He's a hard worker, so I know he's just gonna get back in the gym, and just like Ugas said, he's a great fighter, so he'll get back on top. And then I'm so happy for Toro, man. I was with I was actually with him, I think, when he took like his first loss and stuff, and I've seen the return, and I'm a big fan of that. So I know Caleb's still gonna be on that revenge tour. Toro's on that comeback season, so just everybody going their own ways, man.
What does this do to the big fight? What does this do?
We'll see, man. As long as Caleb just gets back to work, gets another good fight, he'll be back in the mix. And then you see nowadays, man, the L's don't mean as much. As long as you always go in there, put on a great show, the fans are still gonna buy it. They're still gonna show out and show love for these fights. So maybe take a little bit of the seasoning off it. Maybe it was marinated too long, but it's still, these fights will still be exciting fights, man. Every time Caleb's in there, it's a good fight. Toro, now we got him in the mix, so I think there's still plenty of good fights to be made.